Cowboys are going to have a new left tackle. Jason Peters, the future Hall of Famer, longtime Eagle star, he is now expected to sign with the Cowboys. They have agreed to terms on a deal. Peters expected to start in the practice squad, work himself into shape, and then likely find his way in the lineup for the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys might have just saved their season. I'm not exaggerating. It might sound like a very small signing to some people here, but to most Cowboys fans, we know that we could have pretty much had the equivalent of Chaz Green at the left tackle position. I don't know if you guys remember the Chaz Green Atlanta Falcons game that essentially netted Adrian Claiborne a huge contract at free agency, but I pretty much saw that happening for the entire season if the Dallas Cowboys didn't address this one issue. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. We're doing cash giveaways on my Twitter account. All you have to do to enter is just follow me on Twitter and turn on my notifications. And now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Happy Labor Day, guys. I hope you guys are having a very wonderful day off. Your boy doesn't really believe in taking days off, so let's get to this video. The Dallas Cowboys had a very tumultuous offseason. I mean, where do we even start? How about from the very first move that frustrated all of us? The fact that the Cowboys had to trade Amari Cooper, but the return that they got for Amari Cooper was a 6th round freaking pick. The reason was because at that point, they viewed Amari Cooper's contract as a gigantic albatross, and they felt like they needed to essentially donate him to another team so they could get out of salary cap hell. The reason why they were in salary cap hell to begin with was because they overpaid Ezekiel Elliott. So the Cowboys' hands were tied, but fortunately they did have a very promising wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb that they could depend on, so they decided to donate Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns for a return that was less than what the Philadelphia Eagles received for Jalen Reagor. Now, granted, following the Amari Cooper trade, the wide receiver market completely exploded as a result of free agency and Christian Kirk getting that gigantic contract from the Jacksonville Jaguars, which resulted in Devontae Adams getting a huge contract from the Raiders and Tyreek Hill leaving the Kansas City Chiefs for the Miami Dolphins and getting paid the most out of every single wide receiver. But that was just the very beginning of the Dallas Cowboys issues. The Cowboys also extended Michael Gallup and drafted Jalen Tolbert in the NFL draft to hopefully be able to replace Amari Cooper, maybe? I'm not sure. They also signed James Washington in the offseason, and unfortunately for them, in training camp, this is where issues started to arise. James Washington has been ruled out with an injury since the beginning of August, and we might see him in a few weeks. In addition to that, Michael Gallup might be back in a couple weeks as well, so that pretty much leaves CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert, which when your wide receivers go down, if you have a true #1 wide receiver, I'm not necessarily super concerned. Obviously, it's a bit of a downgrade from the great wide receiver core we had last year, but I didn't necessarily view this situation as a situation that could ruin the Dallas Cowboys season. What I did view as a potential season ruiner was when we found out that Tyron Smith was going to be injured until December, and if we were lucky, he might play in December. Tyron Smith being one of the best, if not arguably the best left tackle in the NFL, being out for the entire season is a crippling blow to any Dallas Cowboys fan. I mean, I'm saying outside of Dak Prescott, Tyron Smith going down is definitely a regular season ruiner. And I understand the Cowboys did draft their next heir apparent to Tyron Smith when they drafted Tyler Smith, a player that a lot of Cowboys fans weren't really excited about because many people viewed him as a reach, and also because he gave this gem of an interview the moment he got drafted.
I try to stay away from the media, definitely. I feel like, everybody has an opinion. It's like, like buttholes, everybody has one.
That was awesome.
So the Cowboys were stuck in a situation here, and the question is, what do you do in this situation to make sure that you're not fully depending on a developmental left tackle that you really wanted to just start playing the guard position? Because as capable as Tyler Smith was playing left tackle at Tulsa, and as much as I trust the Dallas Cowboys track record when it comes to drafting offensive linemen, it's kind of nerve-wracking to decide to immediately throw your developmental left tackle into the fire and just hope that he could pick up everything that he needs to do immediately, which is why I think what the Cowboys did here was absolutely brilliant. So the Cowboys decided to make a huge signing today, where they decided to sign a player that has been giving them headaches for the past decade and agreeing to terms with future Hall of Fame offensive tackle Jason Peters. So this is another year for the 40-year-old who figures to help Dallas at a position of need. The former Eagles legend lives in Texas and now joins his hometown team. So we even have a nice picture of Jason Peters wearing Dallas Cowboys gear with a nice chain, and I don't know what kind of watch that is. And it's official. He is now a member of the Dallas Cowboys. I really love signings like this because Jason Peters clearly at the point of his life where he just wants to stay close to home, play some football, be close to his family. So this works out for the Dallas Cowboys in that regard. Is this the same Jason Peters that was causing headaches for the Cowboys for the past decade? Obviously not. He's 40 years old, but we've seen instances where 40-year-old left tackles have had success in the NFL. Look no further than Andrew Whitworth. Now, I personally trust this signing. I think it's a remarkable signing for multiple reasons. One being the fact that the Cowboys do have a dependable future Hall of Famer left tackle at that offensive line that could protect Dak Prescott's blind spot. That's the first thing. If you even go to Jason Peters' Pro Football Focus, which with respect to most analysts, I'm not necessarily Brett Coleman over here, but that's probably the best way that I could grade a left tackle while keeping it as simple as possible. Last year, Jason Peters was above average. I mean, he had a 77.5 overall Pro Football Focus grade, a 77.9 pass blocking grade, and a 70.7 run blocking grade. Now, bear in mind, this is when he was on the Chicago Bears, who were one of the worst offensive lines in the entire NFL last year. So if you want his last really freaking good year, at least in terms of pass blocking, you have to go all the way back to 2019. Now, 2020 was also a step down for him, but regardless, in terms of what he brings, if you put Jason Peters next to Zach Martin, next to Tyler Smith, I mean, I have a lot of confidence in that offensive line at the very minimum being above average. But I think this is more significant than just Jason Peters being able to protect Dak Prescott's blind spot, because now Tyler Smith, the Dallas Cowboys developmental left tackle, who is going to start out at guard, but I'm assuming eventually he's going to transition to left tackle at a specific point of his career. He is now going to be in the locker room with Jason Peters, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. Like, that is elite company to be in if you're trying to become the next great Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman. And I think that's the main reason why I love this signing so much. I think that's why this signing is going to absolutely change everything for the Dallas Cowboys. You put Jason Peters and Tyron Smith next to Tyler Smith in the locker room, I mean, who knows what could happen? I personally feel very confident about this signing, and I think it could do absolute wonders for Tyler Smith's development. Now, I still don't know what to expect from Tyler Smith, and I don't know how the Cowboys are going to decide to do this. I don't know if it's going to be Tyler Smith at left tackle or if they're going to move him back to left guard. I don't know if Jason Peters is just there for depth in case that Tyler Smith just completely bombs in left tackle. It seems like Dak Prescott is fairly confident in Tyler Smith, saying that when you hang around Tyler, you see the competitor, the fighter, you see the football player, you see the grit. I expect him to be prepared. I was in his position 6 years ago. If there's anyone who is supporting the next man up and is about that mentality, it's me. I'm here to support him and give him the most confidence that he needs. And Tyler Smith even said that left tackle has always been my primary position since high school. It's not something that's foreign to me. I was talking to Zach about it, and he said, this is going to be one of the best things for your career. You've been out there at guard and know how to play guard. And now you're moving back to your home position. Having the ability to move to different spots is going to be good for your career. So it's been good for sure. So it seems like Tyler Smith's very happy about the situation. He's going to also have a brand new mentor, so he could definitely try to step up his game. I feel good about this. Like, before I thought the Cowboys were screwed and potentially going to miss the playoffs this year. Now I feel like they could at least challenge the Philadelphia Eagles for NFC East supremacy. Although, I'm going to be honest, as a Cowboys fan, I still think the Eagles have the edge on the Dallas Cowboys a little bit. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. What do you think about the signing? Do you think I'm just looking way too into this, or do you agree with my take? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.